Welcome back to the Halloween movie marathon. And we've almost reached the end. It is now the 31st of October. It is technically Halloween, but I'm shooting this at 4 in the morning because I can't sleep. My buddy Sebastian Venel Martinez would consider this one a tipsy talk. You know why, buddy. You know why. And today we're talking about my favorite horror movie of all time. And I really mean that. This is not only my favorite horror movie of all time, it is one of my favorite movies of all time. Seriously. We're talking Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. And I've been meaning to talk about this movie on this channel ever since I started this channel back in 2015, because this movie is very dear to me. It is very special to me. I think it has influenced multiple directors, multiple films. Cinema itself, the horror genre itself, wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for this film, because Stanley Kubrick was the man. The way he directed films. I mean, look at 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is not your typical science fiction film. Look at Full Metal Jacket. This is not your typical war film. And The Shining is a movie that was considered the first horror epic. And I believe for very good reasons. What is this movie about? For all of you two people that have not seen this film yet. Well, The Shining focuses on the Torrance family. Jack Torrance is a writer. He writes novels. So he takes on a job as a caretaker for the Overlook Hotel during the winter season. He takes his family, his wife Wendy, and his son Danny to spend some time at the Overlook Hotel so he can finish his latest novel. But right out the gate, you feel that something's off. Something's odd because he is being warned. The people that hire him actually issue a warning, because turns out the Overlook Hotel was built on top of a Native American burial ground. So now we have a very odd ghost story slash psychological thriller slash drama slash straight up horror movie, because there is no movie quite like The Shining. And I don't even know if this review will do the movie justice, but I'm really gonna try my best.
Good man.
The movie illustrates the downfall of Jack Torrance, because from the moment that he reaches the hotel, he starts to slowly lose his mind. He becomes insane. And that is something that he was actually warned about, because the previous caretaker went nuts and butchered his family. His son, Danny, is also kinda off. He has this gift, almost a superpower like one of the X-Men, called The Shining. He is able to reach out to people on a mental level, kind of telepathy-like. So when his daddy is going nuts, he can contact the janitor, played by Scatman Crothers. Is that his name? I hope I didn't butcher that. There are so many great things about The Shining. First of all, the cinematography. This might just be the best cinematography that I've ever seen in any movie ever, because the entire movie is shot in a way that is very reminiscent of a fever dream. Even when no supernatural elements are involved, the atmosphere alone creeps the living shit out of you. It's all thanks to brilliant cinematography and a haunting score. But you also gotta talk about the Overlook Hotel itself. It is a character. The Overlook Hotel has become one of the most iconic set pieces or settings in cinema history, and for very good reason. It is so haunting. The ballroom, the foyer, every single room of that hotel has become iconic. And now let's get to the performances. Shelley Duvall was tortured on set. Apparently Stanley Kubrick was a dick to her, so her performance is actually very real. She felt uncomfortable and you can see it on screen. She seems terrified, exhausted, and just hopeless over the fact that her husband is going nuts. So if Stanley Kubrick did that to her in order to get that performance out of her, well, he succeeded. Then we got the little boy the character is called Danny Torrance, and even the actor is called Danny. One of the greatest child performances of all time. And Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance, this has got to be one of my all-time favorite performances because we really see the deep dive into madness with this guy. With every new scene, he dives deeper into madness. And the great thing about this movie is that it also incorporates humor into the story. Not slapstick humor like The Evil Dead, not vulgar humor like some of these spoof movies, no, but situational comedy, like when he's at the bar talking to the ghost, Lloyd, the bartender. Hi, Lloyd. Good man. These entire sequences are some of my favorite sequences in all of cinema. And we have to talk about the ending, because near the end, Jack goes completely nuts. The supernatural presence inside of the Overlook Hotel turn him into a serial killer. He kills the janitor that has come to rescue his family, and he's going after his son with an axe. But eventually he dies in the maze. Yeah, he actually freezes to death. And the last thing we see is a picture of the ballroom. Like many, many years ago, where there's a picture that includes Jack Torrance. What does all that mean? I mean, the great thing about this film is that there are no simple answers to that question. It's open to interpretation. I know we do have a film called Dr. Sleep, which kind of fills in the blanks, but not really. But I never take this film into consideration when talking about The Shining, because The Shining is really open to interpretation. It's a ghost story, it's a thriller, it's a horror film, it's captivating, it sends chills down your spine. And this movie doesn't resort to gore or cheap scares like jump scares, no. It's just the atmosphere, it's just the creepy and disturbing imagery that you see that gets to you. This movie gets to me on a psychological level. This movie gets to me on an emotional level. And the performances, the editing, the sound design, the sets, everything about this movie is perfect. I rarely get to say this, but I do believe that The Shining is a perfect movie from beginning to end. The way it's shot, the way it's lit, the way they utilized the set, the way they really got amazing performances out of all of our lead actors, and the way it's also a confined thriller, a ghost story. It's so many things, all packed into this one beautiful film that has shaped the horror genre like no other movie has. The Shining absolutely gets the gold medal. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. If you have not seen The Shining, trust me, go check it out. You will not regret it. So The Shining, do you love it as much as I do? Let me know in the comment section below. And I'm very well aware of the fact that I've been handing out gold medals like crazy. Like I've really, I made it rain. But only due to the fact that I reviewed films on purpose that I adore this year. I will get back to movies that I hate. I will get to mediocre movies, but The Shining is one of my all-time favorite films. So The Shining, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.